Hi, it's Cheryl. Welcome to Homebridge Studio. Today I have 10 crafts to share with you, and they are all St. Patrick's Day inspired crafts. But before we get into that, I want to briefly mention the giveaway. The details are on my community tab page, and the video to watch for that is 7 quick and easy Dollar Tree Valentine's crafts. There will be 2 winners, and I will draw them on Valentine's Day, February 14th. So let's waste no more time, since I have 10 crafts to share with you, and get right into the video. Okay, number 1. This is a wall hanger. And if you make it, here's what you'll need. I have a board from the Dollar Tree. I have this shamrock from the Dollar Tree as well. This word came in a pack from Hobby Lobby. The ribbon is from Dollar Tree. And I have some chalk paint in the color sheepskin. Plaster by Waverly is pretty much the same color. So I just removed the hanger here, and I'm going to paint on the back of this. Just one good coat of the chalk paint. And if you want to finish the back, you can go ahead and grab some craft paper from the Dollar Tree and just cut some out and glue it on the back. I didn't finish it here just for the purpose of this video. And now I want to make this look like shiplap, so I'm just taking a ruler and I'm drawing a line from the top all the way down to the bottom, and I draw 3 of them. And now I just take my finger and I kind of smudge it in. I got my finger a little damp, just with a little bit of water, and then I'm just rubbing that in really good and smearing it. And I remove the hanger from the shamrock. I'm going to place my pieces on here so I get a good idea what it's going to look like. And then now I just put some hot glue on the word lucky, and I glued it up on top. And now I'm going to take some E6000 and I'm going to put it all around the back of the shamrock. And that key there, you'll see me turn in a second to get the glue out of the tube. Oh, I guess I didn't turn it, but people have asked me where I got that. They're called toothpaste keys, and you get them from Amazon, and they work really well. So where the E6000 wasn't on the shamrock, I put hot glue. You don't want to mix them. I hear that they can cancel each other out. I don't know. I just know it stinks really bad. It almost burns your nostrils. Anyway, don't do it. So now I'm just making an awareness bow. You just crisscross it and then pull it down in the middle, and then pinch it, and then I just go ahead and tie it off with some jute. I'm just trimming the bow down here. It was a little bit too long for my liking, and now I'm going to dovetail the ends. Now I'm going to glue it right onto the stem. And then I have a little wooden button. I use them a lot in a lot of my projects. I have a big container of them from Walmart. And I just glued it on in the middle, fluffed up the bowl a little bit. And now I'm going to make the hanger. And this is some, I don't know if I got it from Dollar Tree. I think I did. It's a green cord. It's a ribbon, but it looks more round like a cord. I've had it forever. And I just tied 2 knots on the front there. And then now to hide that, because I really didn't like the way that looked, I just took 2 of the same buttons, the wood buttons that match the one on the bow, and I just glued it on top there. And that's it. Quick and easy, you guys. Anybody can do this. Okay, number 2. And this is a wreath, and it's very, very easy to make. And I believe this is all from the Dollar Tree. So I have I think that's an 18-inch wreath form wire. I have the clovers here. They were in a pack from the Dollar Tree. The green yarn is from the Dollar Tree. I have the ribbon, and I have these cloths here. And I use 5 of them, and those are from the Dollar Tree. Yeah, I was showing you. It's an 18-inch wire wreath form. So super easy. I just take these cloths and I just kind of glue them onto the wire, but also at the same time gluing them together. So if you do this, just be very careful that you don't burn your hands. I didn't. I made sure that I had my hands kind of underneath pushing up, because you know the glue can seep through here, but these are a little bit thicker too. And now I'm just taking these little clamps from the Dollar Tree and holding them together until the glue dries. And then I take the second one and I do the same thing. I just smush it up against the first one, glued those together, and then I just did this in sections, like 2 to 3 sections, because you're going around on an angle. So I didn't want to glue it all together at the same time. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, I just keep removing the clamps from the previous one and just went all the way around. And that's it. It was really easy. It didn't take very long to make this, and I think it turned out so pretty. And now I have these little clovers, and I'm just going to hot glue them. So I have 3 of the green with the white clovers, and then 3 of the opposite. And now that they're glued on, I'm going to make a tassel. So I'm going to glue one onto each stem of these clovers. So this yarn is really thin. I wrapped it around my hand about 25 times. And then after I was done, I took the end of that and then wrapped it around the top like 4 or 5 times. And then took the 2 pieces and then tied them together, the starter piece and then the end. And then that was it. Then I clipped it off, and then I just clipped the bottom, all the little round circles there, so it's a tassel. And then I just trimmed it up to my liking. And then I'm just going to glue that onto the stem. And I did that 6 times. And these clovers, by the way, are not all going the same way. I have some up, some down, some sideways. And then now I'm just taking a button and I'm going to put it on the top of the tassels on each one of the clovers. And I had a little bit of this ribbon left. I liked it because, you know, you don't want to get too clover-y. That's what I'll say. And this kind of broke that up, this plaid ribbon. And I just made a circle for the hanger, glued it together, as you can see. Easy peasy. And I had just a little teeny bit left, and I just took it and dovetailed the ends. And then I have this ribbon from the previous project. It just says Happy St. Patrick's Day on it. And I made one a little bit bigger than the other. And then this one, so I have 3 pieces to this. This one I made smaller. So the Happy St. Patrick's Day one on the bottom is larger. The one above that, the plaid one, is a little bit smaller. And then the one on top is even smaller, just slightly by like an inch. And then I just dovetailed all those ends. And then to find the middle, I just fold them half like this because we're going to tie them together. And I just have some jute here, and I just make a double knot. Again, really super easy and very quick. And I glued it right on top there, and this is how it turned out. I think it turned out so pretty. Okay, number 3. And this is a wall hanger. So I have the wood square from the Dollar Tree. I have these 2 clovers from the Dollar Tree. I have some scrapbook paper that is not St. Patrick's Day scrap paper at all, and I have that polka dot ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I just went and looked in my scrapbook and just found some fun, summery, springy type paper, and this has leaves on it, green leaves, and little gold little flecks on it. Is really, really pretty. And I just put the glue right on the wood instead of on the paper, and then set the paper down, and now I'm using my brayer to push it down, and then my little X-Acto knife to cut off the extra. And then I have an owl here, a WL owl. It's just kind of like a hole puncher, and we've had it in my family for years. Actually, it was my husband's. It's all broken, but it still works. And I just pushed the holes from the front to the back, not the back to the front, because I didn't want to see the torn paper. If you know, sometimes you can see that. So I pushed it from the front into the back. That's it. And then now I just take some E6000 and some hot glue, and I'm going to glue one of these onto each corner across from each other. And then again, I'm going to make an awareness bow, and I thought the polka dot ribbon here would just be kind of fun, something different, not super, you know, it's definitely St. Patrick's Day, but not necessarily. Like, you could leave this out all year long, and I try to make pieces like that. Not all of my pieces are like that. I kind of give you something different. I don't particularly, you know, decorate for St. Patrick's Day nor Valentine's Day. My decorations are the pieces that I make. And yeah, so I'm just making, again, the awareness bow, dovetailed the ends, and I'm just going to pop it right up on top there. And so, you know, if you wanted to make something for St. Patrick's Day, just something little, just a little something. Oh, and then I have a green button. I'm going to pop it in the middle there too, just for some fun. You know, just if you want to just make something really little, here's a great way to just, if you have one little clover or shamrock, you can get any kind of scrapbook paper, any kind of ribbon. Just make sure it all kind of matches with the color, and you can make something very beautiful like this. Number 4. Gotta have a gnome for St. Patrick's Day. So here's how I make my little gnome. I have the socks from the Dollar Tree. I have some faux fur. I have some polyfill or pillow filling, and then I have another sock. It's a gray from the Dollar Tree for the body. I have some rocks from the Dollar Tree, and I have some round wood beads. So I just took the dark gray sock here and I cut off the top, and then I'm going to dump about, I want to say about 1/4 cup of the rocks into the bottom here, just so that it gives it some stability so it stands. And then I just take the polyfill and stuff it as full as I want. And then I just have, this is just yarn because I have an abundance of yarn, and I just tied a double knot there. And then I just put some hot glue in there for just some extra security. And then I'm going to cut my faux fur here. So I'm just going to score it across the back. You don't want to cut it all the way through because you do not want to cut the fur. And now I am just going to glue the beard on. And by the way, if you don't have fake fur and you want to make a beard, you can always use the mop head from the Dollar Tree. I've done that a lot too. So I have the top of this gray sock, and these are going to be the arms, and I just cut 2 pieces out that are the same. So the cuff will be the cuff around the top of the hand on the gnome, and I just took the piece, opened it up, folded one end up and then the other end, and then folded them together kind of like a burrito, and then just put a bead of hot glue right down there. And then I took a bead, this is his hand, and I put it in sideways so you don't see the little holes, and glued that in there. So I'm showing you options for the nose. You can take a ping pong ball, you can paint it. You can use a bead for the nose, but I'm using a piece of nylon. This is about 8 inches long, and I just cut a piece off, and then I took some polyfill, rolled it up, popped it in there, tied off both ends, as you can see what I'm doing right here. You can make this nose as big as you want or as small as you want. Just depends on how much polyfill you put in it and how tight you tie it. So I tied those 2 together, and then I'm just kind of playing with that a little bit to shape it into a nose. And I'm just going to glue it right onto the top here like this, and now I'm going to glue the arms on. So I took the seam side and I put it down into the body, and I glued the arms onto the sides and at an angle so they're coming toward the front, because he's going to hold a shamrock. Now I have this sock is going to be the hat, and I just cut it off at the heel, and I know it's going to look a little wonky for a little bit, but we're going to take care of that. And I just kind of tried the hat on here, and then I glued it in the back. I pulled it down as far as I can, put some glue on it. It popped off. I had to re-glue it. You'll see it in a second. Yeah, right there. And then I put some more polyfill just to stuff the hat. And now I took a piece of jute and I put a bead on both ends, because I just want to make just something fancy for the hat here. And you'll see how this turns out, but I have a bead on both ends, and I just tie it, double knot it in the middle, and then drop the beads down to the end of each of the jute twine, and I double knotted that. So one of the sides is significantly longer than the other. It's just decoration. That's kind of how I like to, I put beads on the hat a lot, and that's just kind of how I like to do that. And I double knotted it, and I did put a little dollop of hot glue so the beads don't fall off. And now I have this green ribbon, and this is from the Dollar Tree. Nothing fancy. It's probably, I would call it like a Kelly green. And I'm just going to hide the unfinished edge of the sock there. So I glue it all the way around the very edge of the hat. And I start it in the back, bring it around the front, and end it in the back here, and I just angled that. And now I have a little, this is, I don't know what you call it, table scatter, I think, from the Dollar Tree, and I put a little Clover up there, and now I put some hot glue on his hands, and I had this little piece here. I think I took it off of something. It was in my stash. But the Dollar Tree sells, you know, a bunch of stuff like this. And then I put another little table scatter piece on the end, and he's holding this little Clover, and I think he's adorable. Okay, number 5. We're halfway there. This is the most simplest piece ever. I have this scrapbook paper. You know how when you get a pack of scrapbook, you get like little teeny pieces. You're like, I don't know what I'm going to do with these little pieces. Anyway, here's a good idea. I have the little bunny plaque from the Dollar Tree, and then of course the little wooden clover. So this fit so perfectly well on this little sign, on the bunny sign. I just took my glue stick, put a bunch of glue on this. And I love that paper because it says bloom on it, and putting the clover in it, it's kind of like a pop of spring. This, again, it doesn't have to be a St. Patrick's Day thing. You can leave this out all year. But in celebration of the hope of spring, I'm in Michigan. Hopefully we'll be here soon. We still have a ton of snow on the ground, and it's still pretty cold, but it's going to get balmy because it's going to be 40 soon. Anyway, I just thought this was like a pop of spring, and I love this piece, and it was so quick. It took me maybe 2 minutes to make the whole thing. Number 6, and this is a wall hanger. I have this piece from the Dollar Tree. And again, I have some scrapbook paper. It's just green and white checkered, and it's not a St. Patrick's Day paper. I have these flowers from the Dollar Tree, and I have some of these, the table scatter, and some ribbon, and some jute. And I was going to do this on the front, and I had my blow dryer, and I just tore this sign up. That word would not come off the sign, so I had to use the back of it. So to finish the front, I had to put craft paper on it to hide it, because yeah, it really destroyed it. That would not come off, and it started cracking it. So anyway, I decided to use the back. I want to put this paper just on the pot here. So I just cut it out, traced it obviously, and then cut it out, and then glued it on. And now I am taking some jute. I just cut off a nice big piece, and I'm wrapping it around each one of these handles. And then I have some wax, in antique wax, and I'm just painting the feet of this. And then I decided I was going to go around and just hit those edges and distress it. And I dragged it through very, very lightly through the center of the pot as well. And then now I'm just taking these flowers, and they were from the Dollar Tree, the green carnations, and I'm just doing dark light, every other one, and I'm just filling that whole top of the pot in with these flowers. And I did cut off the little plastic tip there because they stick better. As you can see, I filled it all in, and I think I used 2 bunches for that. And I have this word, just like the lucky word. This came in the same pack. It just says shamrock, and I glued it on there. And now I'm going to make a messy bow. I just had a bunch of ribbon, and I grabbed some burlap, the thinner ribbon, and some white and green, and I had some St. Patrick's Day ribbon. And I just cut off a bunch of pieces and crisscrossed them all, and then tied them off with some jute. And I'm just going to glue it right up on top there on the side. And then I had that little wood clover there, and I put it on, and I'm like, I don't like it. I need to stain it. I should have stained it before, but I was very careful, but I was so afraid I was going to get it on the ribbon there, but I didn't, luckily. Now I have some coins, and I just glued a couple on the top there, just a couple. And this is how this turned out, and I think this piece is great too. This was so much fun crafting these pieces. I know that St. Patrick's Day isn't a really big celebrated day, or at least not a big day for crafters, but some of you do, and so I didn't want to put something out here, and this will be my only St. Patrick's Day video. Number 7. This is quick and easy. This is a tiered tray piece, or just a little shelf sitter if you want a little pop of something something. I have the little pot there. I have the clover, all from the Dollar Tree. Green ribbon, the little gold coins. And I started gluing the gold coins on here, and then I realized, oh, I probably should have put the clover in there first. So I kind of had to pull them off and move them around. But I did glue the clover in there, and then just put a bunch of coins all around it in the front and the back. Kind of like the clovers just sitting in a pot of gold. And now I just made a shoelace bow out of the green ribbon that I had, and I just popped it on the front of the pot there. And now I have some black beads. These are from the Dollar Tree. They were the white, pink, and black beads that came together in a package. And I thought it'd be cute to put them on the bottom as feet. And this is what it looks like. Isn't this cute? It was so quick and easy. Okay, number 8. And this is a wall hanger, and if you make this, here's what you'll need. I got this "Kiss Me, I'm Irish" from the Dollar Tree, this sign here. I have this little leprechaun, and he is from the Dollar Tree. I used the bottom last year in a project, so I just had the top of him, but that's okay. I have some table scatter, and I have the clovers there, and I have a bunch of ribbon. So we're going to hide we want to see "Kiss Me," but we're going to hide the "I'm Irish." So I glued this little leprechaun down onto this piece here. And then I glued one of those, the table scatter, a gold coin, onto his one hand. And then I'm going to hide the "I'm" with another little clover. And then I'm going to hide the "I" on the top there with this ribbon. And I just made this little bow here where you just take it and just, I don't know how to describe it. You can see what I'm doing here, but I just kind of went back and forth, back and forth. So there's 3 loops on both sides. And then I just went ahead and tied it off with my favorite jute. And then I placed it right on top there. And I thought I'd have a little bit of fun with this. Can't have everything all green. So I took this ribbon also from the Dollar Tree. I'm sure you guys recognize this. And I just dovetailed both ends and some jute. Clipped that off and tied that in the middle. And then I just glued that in the middle of the green ribbon. And now I just take another one of these table scatters. I'm showing you can put a flower there, you can put a coin there, you can put a button there, but I thought I'd put this table scatter in there, and that's it. And he turned out really cute. For those of you that like traditional decor for St. Patrick's Day, this is a great piece. Very inexpensive. All these pieces are very inexpensive today, and mostly Dollar Tree items, not all of them, but you can substitute with Dollar Tree items. Number 9. And this is a glass plate. It could be a decoration piece, or you could use this as a serving piece. So I have the glass plate from the Dollar Tree. I have these window clings. I'm showing you I use the truck. And I have some dishwasher Mod Podge. I have the scrapbook paper, another just pink and green, kind of a summery, fun scrapbook paper. And I have that gold pen from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just cutting it out. Instead of trying to figure out how to cut out a circle, I'm just kind of measuring it off with my hands there, and then just cutting a square. So I have this brush, this fan brush. It's actually a makeup brush from the Dollar Tree. I wanted to see how this works because I love fan brushes. And this worked really, really well. So I used it and it held together. So I put a coat of the dishwasher Mod Podge, which by the way, you can get that at Dollar Tree. It's $1.25 now. I just put a coat on there, and then I put, before it dried, and then I put the truck on there, and I have 4 little itty bitty clovers. And I put that on there, and then I put more Mod Podge on top of that to hold it on, to press it down. And I'm working pretty fast here. Then I took some paper towel and I wiped off the extra that was, I just wanted it in the circle in the center of the plate. Then I took the paper there and I placed that down. Now this is all the back of the plate. I placed it down, I used my brayer, I pushed it down. And then now I have a very, very, very sharp X-Acto knife. I just changed the blade on that. And I'm going very carefully around the edges. I have this sped up a little bit, but I didn't want to rip it. And now I'm taking my pen, my gold pen, it's a metallic pen from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going around the perimeter of the circle here. It looks uneven here, but it's really not, and you will see it at the end here. Then I flipped the plate around, and then I went around the top. And this turned out so pretty. So you can use this, I just wouldn't probably get any food on the metallic. If you're gonna put food on this, I probably wouldn't outline it with the metallic unless it's some kind of a non-toxic paint. Okay, number 10, last but not least. And this is a wall hanger. So I have this piece from the Dollar Tree. I have all these wood clovers from the Dollar Tree. So I have 2 big, 2 small, and 2 little. And then I have 2 things of acrylic paint. One is a deco art, and it's called Leaf Green. And the other one is Crafter's Collection, and it's called Foliage. And I think the Crafter's Collection is from Hobby Lobby. But it doesn't matter. One is lighter, significantly lighter than the other, and that's what I wanted. So the 2 ones I painted just 1 coat of the darker green, and then the medium ones I painted in the lighter green, and then the little teeny ones I painted in the lighter green as well. And again, super quick, super easy, and very inexpensive. And now I'm placing these pieces how I want them to look. And when I get them the way I want them, I'm just going to pull one up at a time and glue it, just hot glue. And now I have some jute twine, and I just made a little shoelace bow and glued it on those 2 in the middle there. So again, you're going to have to let me know which piece is your favorite, and are you going to make any of these? Do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day? We don't. And anyway, here's the whole shebang, all the pieces that I made today, all put together. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I thank you for watching Homeridge Studio. I hope I have inspired you in some way. Remember to subscribe, like, share, hype, all that good stuff. And also remember to enter the giveaway. Again, the video's name is 7 Quick and Easy Dollar Tree Valentine's Crafts. There will be 2 winners selected on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. And with all that being said, I will be back very soon. And until then, you have a blessed week. Bye.